Let's turn to John Bussey now, associate editor of the Wall Street Journal. Excuse me, the Journal and Fox News Channel have common ownership. From the George G.H.W. Bush White House, one of the ethics attorneys in that White House of Bush 43 said that this is something akin to treason. Listen.
This was an effort to get opposition research on an opponent in an American political campaign from the Russians who are known to be engaged in spying inside the United States. We do not get our opposition research from spies. We do not collaborate with Russian spies unless we want to be accused of treason.
He went on to say if this story is true, we'd have one of them, if not both of them, in custody by now, and we'd be asking them a lot of questions. He said this is unacceptable. This borders on treason, if not itself treason. One man's opinion.
One man's opinion is a lawyer, worked for George Bush, was the ethics counsel. One man's opinion that is fairly informed, but it's one guy's. Look, you know, at the end of the day, for Donald Trump, this is an issue of legitimacy, his election. Was he elected fairly and through normal practices? He is worried that somehow all of this controversy impinges upon the legitimacy of his getting elected. But he's making it worse, and the plot keeps thickening here. He's making it worse by taking the side of Russia, being pro-Russia, being almost an apologist for Russia at times. You wonder why, when his own party, you know, is not that way. By firing the guy investigating whether or not there was collusion between his campaign and the Russians. By diminishing the new guy who was the special counsel investigating that. And now by the activities, apparently, of his own campaign. Whether or not they got information from this woman, who knows? You know, whether Donald Trump has changed his story throughout this, and we don't know exactly what happened in that meeting. Presumably the Intelligence Committee and the new special counsel, you know, will determine what happened. But it's not good that he keeps having to change his story. It's not good that Kushner fails to disclose Russian contacts when he initially applies for his security clearance. There's a lack of transparency as well as a strange affinity for Russia by the President of the United States that the pieces just don't add up.
And a series of misstatements by all the president's men.
Yes, that's right. Or, you know, exclusions and kind of, well, I didn't realize and I probably should have put it on the form, and doing it afterward. You know, Flynn, you wonder where now the former NSA, the former National Security advisor, is in all of this. How much the special counsel and the FBI are talking to him, how much information they're getting from him. The Congress is now saying, look, we not only want to talk to Don, but we want to, as the FBI is doing, look to see whether Russian money somehow found its way into the Republican campaign, whether there was laundered money, you know, involved. It gets more and more complex, and this is problematic for Donald Trump. It does question that legitimacy issue, and that's what is kind of the sore spot with him.
On just the matter which Donald Trump Jr. has said, in his own words, happened, he says that it was presented to him that this person with whom he would be meeting had information on Hillary Clinton that would be helpful to Donald Trump's campaign. On that matter, there is no disputing. He has admitted that, and the Times has reported that. So that we can say pretty definitively is a true thing. That in and of itself today has been widely questioned as being something that one should not do. Get information from Russians about a political opponent in the U.S.
And mind you, he said that only after the New York Times, to their credit, broke the story.
Yes.
That this is what.
But he now says it.
Yeah, that this is what had happened. Look, you know, campaigns go after opposition research on each other all the time. The question here is whether or not Russia, through this cutout figure, you know, whether or not, you know, Putin says that he knew her or didn't know her.
Yeah, okay,
you know,
whatever.
Come on.
He'll help us with cybersecurity
yeah, just
later.
Just so happens that she was trying to get the U.S. to go easy on sanctions against high-level Russian officials. You know, this, you know, that's what the issue was here. The problem is the Russian angle on this, the foreign involvement in a U.S. election. It crosses a certain line. And, you know, Kellyanne Conway say, well, you know, he didn't get any information from her. Who knows? You know, who knows what really happened in that meeting, what information, you know, was gotten. Presumably we'll find that out eventually. But, you know, beyond that, you know, going into a session where you know that there's a Russian connection with the possibility of getting help from somebody who is or is not in a direct or indirect way representing the Russian government that would help your campaign, this gets sticky really fast.
Yeah, I'm sure now he wishes he had taken copious notes and had a note taker there or something, or he's glad he didn't.
Head of the campaign was in the room.
Yeah.
The son-in-law of the President of the United States was in the room. The son of the President was in the room.
Donald Trump didn't know. Happened in Trump Tower.
We'll find out.
Well, okay. Good to see you, John.
Good to see you.
Thank you much.